Ladies and gentlemen, summer was fun, but I'm happy to announce the rain has begun. Let's talk about it in this Tuesday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Good morning. It is Tuesday, the 27th of August, 2024. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Boldy-in-Chief David Reimer, and yes, the rain has begun for parts of the state, specifically mostly the southeastern third of the state, yesterday into this morning. Let me get this atrocious, big, black, scary microphone out of my face. And the good news is we have more rain in the forecast. In fact, the heat dome is going bye-bye, and a weak upper-level low is going to shift northwest across the state slowly over the next few days, and it looks like unsettled weather will continue into next week, resulting in more rain, more cloud cover, and a drop in temperatures, which is nice because that might mean we're past the worst of summer. Climatologically speaking, we are. Model data-wise, we might be. Let's get into it. Here is the high-res rapid refresh model for today, tonight, into Wednesday. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm caffeinated. You can see scattered showers and storms this afternoon. Southeastern half of the state. Closer you are to the Texas Gulf Coast, the better the chance is you get a pop-up this afternoon, but worry not. Maybe a few storms continuing into Wednesday morning. The Edwards Plateau, Central Texas, the Hill Country, the Coastal Plains tomorrow. Southeastern half of Texas, another shot of isolated scattered showers and storms. May make it a little further northwest than today, starting out near the coast, spreading northwest, kind of like a sea breeze tomorrow afternoon. But all this thanks to an upper level low pressure that's quite weak. It's not tropical mischief of any kind. If it was, we'd probably get a lot more rain. But it does show that the weather has changed. Let's take a look at the wildfire outlook for the next few days. Just because we have some rain chances doesn't mean we are done with wildfire issues. Far from it. We continue with moderate to high to, at times, very high wildfire danger today, tomorrow, and Thursday, especially across, well, really the northwestern 75% of Texas. Comparatively lower chance for wildfires, at least larger fires, across the coastal plain, southeast Texas, and the Golden Triangle, as rain chances continue there, most frequently over the next few days. But guess what? Let's take a look at the longer range American weather model, the global forecast system, and this is going to show a uptick in rain chances across the northwestern two-thirds of Texas as we get into Thursday, Friday, and the weekend. I'll let this play out just so you can see, but as you can see, we're still going to have rain chances across the eastern half of the state too, so really, the whole state's going to have pop-up rain chances over the next few days. Next couple days, best chances southeastern half to southeastern third of the state. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even into Monday of next week, rest of the state, at least isolated, if not scattered thunderstorm chances during the afternoon and evening hours across nearly the entire state. Now that means it's not going to rain every single day in every single location. It doesn't look like a massive washout for any one location at this point. Some folks are probably going to lose out on rain altogether, but this is the most widespread, best chance of rain we've seen across the state for, the entire state probably, since probably our big wet June, mid-June, I believe. So, that's good. And this unsettled weather pattern may continue across the state well into next week, which would bring more rain to nearly all of the state. And again, not every single person is going to get rain every single day. It is going to be the pop-up stuff. But, a week plus of constant pop-ups means statistically and probabilistically, there we go, we're looking decent. You can see that in the forecast rain totals over the next 5 days. I'm just showing you this to show nearly the entire state has a decent shot of at least getting a tenth of an inch of rain through Saturday night. And again, rain chances will continue Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of next week, which means some folks, we're going to be bumping up these rain totals as forecasts continue. Now, the next few days, highest chance of rain, generally, 1 to 3 inches coastal plains, southeast Texas, the Golden Triangle, south of the line from Victoria, up 59 to Houston, east of Beaumont. Chance of rain also, Hill Country, Edwards Plateau, West Texas Panhandle. And again, if you end up under one of these pop-up storms, you could get a quick 2 inches of rain in 45 minutes, while your neighbor ends up getting diddly squat just because that's how pop-ups work. So this rain map probably won't play out exactly like this. We're going to have a lot of localized maximas and minimums, but when we look back on this in 10 days, I'm hopeful the entire state will at least have gotten some rain. And some folks, you may have gotten several inches of rain. In terms of widespread severe weather, this doesn't look like a big severe weather maker right now. Yeah, we're going to have some storms producing gusty winds over 45 miles an hour, maybe some small hail. Lightning, you bet. It's late August, heading into early September. Lightning is about as common as me making complaints about my lack of a hairline. It's going to happen. So when thunder roars, go indoors. We don't need you getting struck by lightning, turn it into toasted barbecue. Because you're not the kind of barbecue we want to eat. No. No. Cannibalism. Cannibalism, bad. No. Clearly I've had too much caffeine. But, nevertheless, it's going to rain. And with that, temperatures are going to come down because clouds. Now, here's the upper air look over the next few days. Now, I realize this is just a bucket of spilled paint for most of y'all, but I just want to point out there's no big scary red blob of doom sending its happy self over Texas. The closest we get to that is the weakening heat dome over Missouri today, and you can see that kind of goes away. And bye-bye. You can see jet stream. That's kind of where we have the more delineated change from, upper air heights lowering, which I could explain, but I'm not going to this morning because I'm lazy. The jet stream's over, the Pacific Northwest, Canadian provinces, the Northeast United States. But we don't have a heat dome over us, which means we might get a sneaky cold front in here next week. Cool front. And we'll also have to keep an eye out for weak upper-level disturbances because without the high pressure over us, we don't have sinking air overhead. Sinking air being subsidence. Without that, and, with all the tropical moisture in place, that's how we're able to get these daily pop-ups. Pretend we're Florida. That's the best way I can put it, except it's not going to be 110 degrees either in the heat index department because, well, we're actually going to have rain chances and pop-ups. And that could continue well into next week. Data next week, more uncertain at this point. The longer-range weather models are wish-washy. Some are saying it's going to be quite rainy. Some are saying not as much. But I want to emphasize summer's not done. Are we probably past the peak, the worst? Probably. But does that mean we're done with, 90s and 100s? Probably not. Today, highs, upper 90s, Northwest Texas, North Texas, the Arklatex, and across South Texas, the Edwards Plateau. Big Country, Concho Valley. Better chance of rain today in clouds. Highs in the 80s, Hill Country. South Central Texas, maybe into the Brazos Valley. It'll still probably be in the low 90s, plus the higher terrain of the Guadalupe, Davis Mounds, 93 El Paso, 93 Amarillo, and Lubbock, about 95 in Abilene, 97 in DFW, 96 in Longview, and New Boston. We're looking at about 93 in Houston, San Antonio, lower 90s, Austin, all the way up I-35 towards Waco. Tomorrow, getting a little closer to 100 across Northwest Texas, North Texas, the Arklatex, but again, this is closer to normal compared to, the 105 to 109 to 114 we saw in Vernon last week. So again, we're still running 10 degrees cooler than we were, which is atrocious because we're still near 100. But hey, you know what? I can say it's cooler because by definition, it's cooler. I know, Drama Llama. Drama Llama! I might actually make a meme out of that. Note to self. Anyway, good news is, as we continue through the week, rain chances start to increase again across southeast Texas. Highs in the mid to upper 80s with increasing rain chances. We're looking still 90s, western 75% of the state. But then we really start seeing things change as we get into Friday. Highs, mid 80s, Panhandle, West Texas. 85 in Amarillo, 85 in Lubbock. 80 up in Texline, up in North. Is that Texline? There's Texline up. Regardless, it's 80 up in the northwestern Texas Panhandle. I'll look at a map. 93 El Paso, 87 in Alpine. Still, 100 Laredo, 100 in McAllen. About 93 in Houston, 95 to 98, DFW, Waco, San Antonio. Now here's where we actually start seeing more significant changes. Highs, upper 80s, low 90s, northwestern half of the state on Saturday. 80s to around 90, eastern half of the state. Still hottest, Edwards Plateau, southwest San Antonio, so south central Texas, down into the Edwards Plateau. I said that already. Rio Grande Plains, Rio Grande Valley, we'll still see upper 90s, but again, if you end up with rain, you'll cool down pretty quick, and that applies for everyone over, well, really the foreseeable future. It may get warm 80s, 90s during the afternoon, but if you end up with a pop-up storm over you or nearby, it's going to drop in the 70s for the rest of the afternoon. And for what it's worth, temperatures continue to go down Sunday, Monday. After this, we could have highs in the upper 80s for DFW by Monday of next week. So, ladies and gentlemen, the weather forecast is a-changin', the heat dome is gone, and after several weeks of me trying to come up with creative ways to explain the heat, we actually get to talk about weather again. But I am perfectly happy that we're not dealing with any sort of tropical blobs, we're not dealing with any sort of derechos, supercells, tornadic mischief, any of that nonsense that requires me to talk to you live for hours on end, because while y'all may enjoy it, it's actually quite tiring and it makes my head hurt. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and continue on what we were doing, which for you is, I don't know, but for me is coding. So, y'all make it a great Tuesday. You can always get your local weather forecast in the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app, and we'll chat with y'all again tomorrow morning. Have a good one. God bless.